بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. قال تعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا وإن الله لمع المحسنين. وقال تعالى واعبد ربك حتى يأتيك اليقين. وقال تعالى واذكر اسم ربك وتبتل إليه تبتيلا. وقال تعالى فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره. وقال تعالى وما تقدموا لأنفسكم من خير تجدوه عند الله هو خيرا وأعظم أجرا. وقال تعالى وما تنفقوا من خير فإن الله به عليم. Allah the Exalted says, as for those who strive hard in us, we will surely guide them to our paths, and verily Allah is with the muhsineen. And worship your Rabb until there comes unto you the certainty, i.e. death. And remember the name of your Rabb and devote yourself to Him with a complete devotion. So whosoever does good equal to the weight of an atom shall see it. And whatever good you send before you for yourselves, you will certainly find it with Allah better and greater in reward. And whatever you spend in good, surely Allah knows it well. فالأول عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله تعالى قال من عادى لي وليا فقد آذنته بالحرب وما تقرب إلي عبدي بشيء أحب إلي مما افترضت عليه وما يزال عبدي يتقرب إلي بالنوافل حتى أحبه فإذا أحببته كنت سمعه الذي يسمع به وبصره الذي يبصر به ويده التي يبطش بها ورجله التي يمشي بها وإن سألني
ولئن okay.
وإن سألني لأعطينه ولئن استعاذني لأعيذنه رواه البخاري. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Allah the Exalted has said, I will declare war against him who shows hostility to a pious worshipper of mine. And the most beloved thing with which my slave comes nearer to me is what I have enjoined upon him. And my slave keeps on coming closer to me through performing Nawafil, till I love him. When I love him, I become his hearing with which he hears, his seeing with which he sees, his hand with which he strikes, and his leg with which he walks. And if he asks from me, I give him. And if he asks my protection, I protect him. Al-Bukhari.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem amma ba'd. This is the beginning of chapter 11, Babul Mujahada, the struggle in the cause of Allah. This is hadith number 95, narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, in which the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he is mentioning the awliya of Allah, the friends of Allah. What is awliya? What is a wali? A wali, loosely, very loosely translated, it means the friend of Allah, waliyullah, or awliyaullah. But it is something even much more deeper than that. A wali, we have two types of awliya in this world. One is awliya'ur Rahman and the other is awliya'ur Shaitan. The supporters, the allies, the friends of the most merciful, and the allies and the friends and the supporters and the defenders of the Shaitan. These are the two camps. It depends on an individual which camp he wants to be in. Who are the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Who are they? Allah, He mentions they have two qualities. If we bring these two qualities, we will be from amongst them, inshaAllah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, أَلَا إِنَّ أَوْلِيَاءَ اللَّهِ لَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. Verily the awliya of Allah, they will not have any grief or fear striking them or concerning them. Who are the awliya of Allah? Those who have iman and those who have taqwa. Allah, He combined these two qualities. A quality of theory, of aqidah, of iman, which we are talking about very much in detail, that the awliya of Allah are those who have the correct aqidah in their heart. And then they have taqwa, meaning they have the proper conscious of Allah when it comes to their actions. They do that which Allah commands them, and they stay away from that which Allah prohibits them. And all of that is because of their iman, their correct belief in Allah. These are the awliya of Allah. These are the awliya of Ar-Rahman. And what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promise them? He promises them many things. One of them, they won't have any grief. They won't have any grief concerning matters that they have left behind, that left them behind. Maybe they lost an opportunity for a job. Maybe they lost an opportunity at a career. Maybe whatever it is not going to grieve them. And they are not going to be concerned for the future. What's going to happen to me tomorrow? What's going to happen to my family tomorrow? And that's why they're not going to do anything haram in order for them to secure financially their future or the future of their kids. The awliya of Allah are those women who, when their husbands used to go outside of the doors, when the husbands used to go in the morning outside of their houses to earn a living, they used to go to work. So she used to, this friend of Allah, and look at my brothers and sisters, the friends of Allah can be men or women. So she used to go and accompany her husband to the door and say, fear Allah in regards to us. We can handle the hunger in this world, but we cannot handle the punishment and the hunger in the hereafter. What does that mean? These friends of Allah, these females, these wives, they used to remind their husbands, fear Allah when it comes to us. Meaning, earn your rizq, your sustenance in a halal way. Don't come back home having cheated someone, and with that money, you are now bringing food into our house. We can handle the hunger in this world, but we cannot handle the hunger in the hereafter. So fear Allah. So the awliya of Allah are those, they're not going to worry about what is in store in them, because the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned that the believers, their hearts are like the hearts of the birds, meaning they are so soft and they are full of tawakkul upon Allah. There are creatures in this world who don't even worry about. Yes, there are some who store, like the squirrels and others, they keep on storing, all kinds of food, ants, they store food for 1 year. But that is because Allah gave them that natural instinct in them to do that. It is because Allah gave the natural instinct to the squirrels to go ahead and store food. But generally, all of the animals, they depend upon Allah to provide for them. وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. That Allah, He has taken the responsibility to provide for everyone. There is not a single animal that is walking upon the face of the earth except Allah is saying that I will be providing the rizq. So the awliya of Allah, they are not going to grieve of any missed opportunities. They're not going to have fear for the future. And Allahu waliyyul ladina amanu yukhrijuhum min al-dhulumati ila an-nur. Allah will take them. Allah, He says, Allahu waliyyul ladina. Allah is the wali. So this now brings us to another thing. When a person is the wali of Allah, Allah is also his wali. The first verse, Ala inna awliya Allahi, the awliya of Allah. In the other verse, in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allahu waliyyul ladina. Allah is the wali. Who? Amanu, those who have belief, who have iman. And what does Allah do to them? يُخْرِجُهُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ. Allah takes them from darkness and puts them into light. Anything they see it within the paradigm, within the light of Islam. They're able to see it the way Allah wants them to see it. When they are being told you need to be successful, they see success occurring in the light of what Allah defines success. Be fearful. They are fearful in light of what Allah tells them to be fearful. Does that make sense, brothers? These are the awliya of Allah. Allah, He has divided His awliya in 3 different levels, maratib. One is not the same as the other. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, ثُمَّ أَوْرَثْنَا الْكِتَابَ الَّذِينَ اصْطَفَيْنَا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ وَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَصِدٌ وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقٌ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has divided them into 3 different categories. One, who do wrong, meaning they commit sins. But overall, they stay away from the major sins and they don't do any, and they're not insistent upon the haram. And alhamdulillah, we could say inshallah, if our aqidah is correct, if our iman in Allah is firm, then may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at least, of course we want the highest level, which is وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقٌ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. But at least if we can just be in the category of awliya, may Allah accept us all from that. The second are those who they do all of the fara'id, but they don't do extra. Nawafil and those things. The optional types of worship. They give the zakah, but they don't give sadaqah. They're still awliya because they have done. That's why in this hadith, this is why I'm making the connection with the verses of the Quran, brothers. That's why in this hadith, what does the Prophet ﷺ he say? My slave, he does not come near me except with what I have commanded him to do. Meaning any obligation, he cannot come close to me except if he was to fulfill that. And that's why some people, they claim to be awliya of Allah. They say, I am waliullah. I am the friend of Allah. Because they say this not, in the first instance when you talk to them. You do something, you see them do something haram. For example, they will watch haram. They said, no, I need to watch haram. First of all, it doesn't affect my iman. That's what he says. And I watch it just so I can understand what is the meaning of haram. They don't worship. They don't pray their salah. Why? He says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, and he mentioned this verse. Allah, he says, وَعَبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Worship your Lord until you have yaqeen. Until you have certainty. I have certainty in Allah. I don't need to worship. Wallahi, they use verses of the Quran, like how I told you last time. They say, like some of them, they say, Iblis, he was the one who truly had tawheed. Because he refused to worship anyone besides Allah. And that's why he refused to make sajda to Iblis. To Adam. What did I say? Yeah, Iblis. I said Iblis. To Iblis. Okay, yeah. Iblis refused to do sajda to Prophet Adam alayhi salam. Why? Because he was the real muwahhid. So they will come up with these kinds. So they will say, I am from amongst the awliya of Allah. That's why Imam Ash-Shafi'i rahimahullah, he said, if you see someone flying in the air and walking on water, is that possible? 100% it's possible. For someone to walk on water and fly in the air, 100% possible. And he claims to be the wali of Allah. He says if someone claims to be the wali of Allah and he is walking on water and flying in the air, but he does not pray, know that he is not the wali of Allah, he is the wali of shaitan. Because you can use the jinns to do that. You can use the jinns to fly in the air, you can use the jinns to help you walk on water. You have the magicians doing it. I'm talking about not those people who that use trick. I'm talking about the black magic. They do it. And so they use the jinns, they use the devils, the shayateen to help them do certain things. What does Imam Shafi'i mean? He's saying that no one can become the wali of Allah if he does not do the obligatory commandments of Allah. Can we become the friends of Allah, the supporters of Allah, the allies of Allah? Insha'Allah, 100%. We can. We need to learn what is Iman. We need to fix our aqidah. We need to learn about Allah. How can we be the friends of Allah if we don't know who Allah is? If we didn't spend 1 hour a week to learn about Allah, how can we claim to be the friends of Allah, the allies of Allah? This is not an advertisement, but that's why we have the Thursday Aqidah class. And Allah, He takes priority over everything else that we need to learn about. And so then the verse goes on and says, then they are the intermediate. وَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَصِدٌ وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقٌ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. Those, then the third are those who do the optional prayers as well. And over here in this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he's saying that my servant, he continues to come closer to me through the performance of the Nawafil, the optional forms of worship. He keeps on doing that until I love him. If Allah loves you, who can hate you? And even if the people hate you, then they are declaring war with Allah. Because Allah, He says, This hadith Qudsi, that man aada li waliyan, anyone who hates my wali, who is an enemy, فَقَدْ آذَنْتُهُ بِالْحَرْبِ, then I have declared war with him. How many in the history, just in the last 50 years, or in the last 70 years, in the last 100 years, in our time that we could remember, how many stories I have heard personally of those people who did harm to the friends of Allah. And those people, the friends of Allah, probably passed away because of torture, because of imprisonment and whatnot. But those torturers and the people who imprisoned them, Allah is making them suffer slowly in this world through all kinds of psychological torment that they're going through. They have whatever you call it, PTSD. They have trauma. They want to kill themselves. There are people who are locked up, and these are people who were working for one agency or another. And so they are locked up in different ways. Some of them are having their hands tied to themselves so as not to commit harm to themselves. Others are stripped completely naked because anything you give him, he's going to use it to kill himself, to hang himself, to choke himself, and so on. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions, يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He also mentions in so many verses of the Quran that if you are seeking izzah and honor, وَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ وَلِرَسُولِهِ, then to Allah belongs, and to His Messenger belongs all form of honor. Meaning what? وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and to the believers. Meaning if you want to get honor, there is no way you can get honor if you are an enemy to Allah, His Messenger, or His awliya, His friends. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran as well, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَنْ يَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ سَبِيلًا. Unfortunately, here, when we are living as minorities in a non-Muslim country, during disputes, what do we do? During disputes, do we turn towards the Sharia of Allah, towards the commandments of Allah, towards the laws of Allah? Or do we go ahead and use man-made laws in order for us to fight one another, to do dhulm with one another, oppress one another, and to take that which does not belong to us unjustly, especially when it comes to financial and marital disputes? There is a particular brother who was telling me all kinds of horror stories that what they do. They go to the civil courts to take all of his wealth, if not all, 50%. And not a single dime belongs to her. And they take away all of his children, even though he is both the legal and the Islamic father. And they strip him from all of his rights pertaining to as a father. And then they come to an Islamic scholar demanding her Islamic rights as well. How can you become the wali of Allah when you consume wealth bil batil, when you consume wealth in unjustly, in a haram way, by doing dhulm, injustice towards other people? We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from amongst His friends, from His allies, from His supporters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never allow us to be the enemy or to cause harm to any of His friends. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to fulfill all of our obligation towards Him and towards the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and towards the Muslim community. May Allah increase our love for each other. May Allah unite our hearts. May Allah unite the hearts of all spouses. May Allah unite the hearts of brothers and sisters, of siblings and family and extended family and the community and the entire ummah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.